This function is like intermediate operation or terminate operation.
Which one?
This thing. This thing.
Distinct.
Yeah.
That is an intermediate operation.
Intermediate.
Yes.
Why is like better result?
Because it's a stateful intermediate operations. When you look at the slide, we mentioned that distinct as well as shorter, both are intermediate operations, stateful intermediate operations. So why it is when you do filter or map, let's take the scenario. Day one quotes some examples of filter. Okay, here you do filter, right? So when you do filter, it take the first input as 10, 10 modulus 2 not equal to 0. It will may return a true or Boolean value. Then it will take 11, but 10 and 11 are not dependent to perform the operation. So these are all stateless. It does not maintain the status. But when I want to make a distinct, so do we have distincts here? Okay, so when you do apply a distinct operation, what it will do it has to maintain the state of distinct means it has processed all the inputs, right? And there is a connection. How can I say which is duplicate or not? Take the input, it has to compare with the next input if both are equal or not. So when you do distinct or shorted, it has to maintain the state of all the elements. Then only I can compare one element with another and I can do sorting. But when you do filter or mapping, which works on each individual input, there is no need to maintain all the input collection to perform the task. That's what it is stateless. These are all stateful intermediate operations. Any other questions?
Yeah. When I do this thing, then if I continue process on this stream, it will throw the exception. So
what exception?
Yeah.
After distinct, you want to do something. What operation you want to do? I can filter.
Yeah.
Right. So I can filter, take the input from the distinct and input dot length greater than 6. Okay. Then I'm going to do dot for each system. If you apply some terminal, it won't work. Okay. System dot out. I don't think so whether you apply. Okay. System colon out colon println. What it says. Oh, sorry. I replaced the values, right? System dot out colon. Okay. And because I collected this result, okay, so I have to remove this line. I don't want to collect a result if I want to directly print. Okay. So then it will work. Okay. It's all intermediate. Any other questions? Stream fusion. I didn't talk about stream fusion. Stream fusion. I don't know. Which slide number? Any other questions? And some guys has asked me about the how what is the storage for the streams. So streams are working on the collections. Already collections are stored on the heap memory. We will be working all the stream operations on the collections. Okay. There is no special memory allocated for stream operations. It is a tool to work on your collections. We are not holding the data. There is no need for memory to hold it. We just perform operations on your existing collection, which is available on the heap memory. Okay. Any other questions? It is a pipeline. Just it will execute whatever process you want to do. It is not a data structure to hold your collection or data. Okay. Any other questions you have? Okay, let's do the quick summary what we discussed yesterday. So yesterday we have started about stream. The definitions for stream we discussed. It is a pipeline to perform some sequential and parallel operations on your collection. And we discussed the stream operations or intermediate operations are lazy. Only if you invoke a terminal operation, it will work on your collections and give you the result. Until terminal operation invoked, your intermediate operation does not work. That's what it's called, lazy. And also we discuss how to create a stream with the collection and also with the some own stream how can you get it? We have several primitive teams, stream.off method to give a stream of collections that we discussed, and some of the intermediate operations, filter, map, distinct, shorter we discussed, and terminal operations we discussed about. For each, count, system.out.println, collector.collect to list. This is what we discussed, operations, and also we discussed flat map, intermediate operations, right? Anything else we discussed yesterday? Right. So today we are focusing on shorting, the more functional style of shorting we are going to perform. Okay, look at this code, the same code I copied in your slide. Okay, we are in the day 2. So I will do step by step, slide by slide. Okay, so I want to print the names which should be lengthwise, decreased order. For example, which one has the highest number of characters that will appear first. So lengthwise, reversed order of highest length. If I want to perform this one, I have to do simple sorting without worrying about natural order I need. So what I can do, your word.streams dot sorted, and I want to print the list. So I retrieve as a string of stream, then a stream of strings, then I'm going to print it. So this will print in a natural order. So short in the natural order, okay? Short in the natural order. So just simply call shorter. There is no special inputs required for the shorted method. So when I run this code, it will give you an input in alphabetical order, Joseph, Richard, Tom. But I want the order like this, lengthwise, reversed order. Then it won't work because we need to customize our sorting. So to perform this sorting, as well, there are several overloading methods. The sorted without any arguments, and also inside the sorted, what kind of sorting I need. I have sorted means it's a comparator interface, right? So comparator interface need 2 inputs, X and Y. Let me make sure I'm recording the session. Screen is shared. The red color says, oh, you can't see my screen? It's showing, right? Hosam, did you see my screen? Hosam Mohammed, are you there?
Yes, I can see it. Yeah.
Okay, okay. So see, it's showing, right? The red mark, I can see that. Okay. So when you see here, X comma Y, which is a comparator implementation, take 2 arguments. I want to customize by reversed order. So for that reason, okay, someone need to mute your mic, please. So to get reversed order, first I need to compare the second input minus first input. Any question on this line? If I want to get reversed, you have to change the argument. Is there any questions here? Okay, when I do the sorting, I can get inputs lengthwise sorting, right? So now we are going to learn about more functional way of sorting. So this is the lambda way of sorting. Still we are saying how to do instead of what to do, right? So this line tell you, how can I do the sorting? Take the first input, the second input minus the first input length. Still it looks like how to do, right? I want everything what to do style. So for that reason, we are going to focus today the more modern approach for the sorting. Okay. So what is that modern approaches? Comparator.compare. Okay. Inside the sort method, the modern approach, this is your collection. Okay, so let's do the stream longest to 3. Okay, longest first 3 is equal to, first thing is create a stream, word.stream. Then we will do word.stream dot, I need to sorted collection, right? Sorted, we have a method called comparator, sorry, inside this argument. So the modern style is comparator dot compare. Compare. What happened? Comparator, spelling mistake. Sorry. Comparator dot comparing. Okay. In this method, what it will take the input arguments of function. So what do you mean by function? Take a input and return a value. So what is your input here is, I want to compare by lengthwise, right? So my input is take a input of string and return the length. So string colon length. So, and what I need a reversed sorting. So you can put that reversed. Okay. So this is similar like your lambda. Your comparing method will take a functional interface. Let me put the comparing method need a functional interface. Comparing method takes function interface. Take function interface. So the purpose of function interfaces. So how can I replace with lambda this code? How can you replace with lambda? Take a input and return input that length. So I can replace with method reference, which is comes from string class. So reverse. So now this code, it says what to do, not how to do. So this is the more functional style of implementation. So let me print this one. So there are so many advantages to go with that, and it reduces a lot of code. I'll show you with the different example. So I can get the same result, but more functional style. So no need to write a lot of code. Just I can use the library to perform this. Comparator dot comparing string colon length dot reverse. Okay, how we can use this starting for the item collection. We have several item class, which I show you already. The item class has a name and price. I have stored several inputs for this one. I added all those values in this collection. Okay, so now what I want to do it is, I want to print the names in a shorter order. How can I do this? In the more functional side. Just let's start with the simple sorting. I want to sort by item name. Can you tell me the code? How can I do this? List dot stream dot shorter comparator dot comparing, sorry, dot shorter comparator dot comparing. What kind of sorting I need? Get price wise, right? So we have some getter method, right? So there is a get name, right? We have get name, where it comes from? Item class. So item colon get name. So automatically I will get a sorting by name. Let's print dot for each print, right? So if you want to print an object, even you can print an object. Okay, so see here, it will print in a shorter order. If I want reversed, what I need to do? Just before closing this one, dot reverse. Okay, let me put separately. Okay, this will be a natural order. Short. Okay, this is my comparison. Okay, let's do this one. If I want to sort the list which has the price is greater than 500, how can I do this? Dot filter, take the input and input dot get price greater than 500. So filter the names which has greater than 500, then sort it and print the name. So how many values it will be print? I think greater than 500, we have only 2 items. Each is in the sorted order. So you can apply map whatever you want. How you work with the same string and integer collection. Similarly, you can work with employee item, whatever collections you have. If I want then the reversed order, so what I can do? I want to print the items in the reversed order of price wise. So how can I do this one? List dot stream dot shorter comparator. Why it's coming always outside? Comparator dot comparing. I need price wise. So item double colon get price. So this where the method references are useful, reversed. So then dot for each. Or if you want, you can collect as a list, then print whatever you want. So this will be print in a reversed order. So price wise, total object, right? If you want to print only the price name, what do you need to do? I need only the price name. I don't want all the objects. What you can do in here? I want to print only the price. X dot get name. What your function, intermediate function you need for that? Map, exactly. Either do the mapping or after sorting, you can do whatever you want. Map, take the input. This is an item object. I want to map it with X dot get price. I need only price. So now what it will do in the scenario? It will print only price. So whatever you want, you can apply everything. See here, I can get only price. Yes. You can customize. Take the lambda. You cannot do method reference. Take the input and print input dot get name, get price. That also possible. Okay, now in my collection, I have two items with the same name, right? Now, in your real time, if the two person has same name, what we will do? We will go for another criteria, right? Maybe date of birth, right? We will do another kind of sorting criteria. If two persons have the same name, so I can go with another attribute, right? If you have first name, last name. If two last names are same, then go by first name. What happens if two first names are same? Then go with another. So this will make consist with equals. Your sorting will consist with equals. What your equal do? Say if the two employees are equal, all inputs are equal, right? Same way, I want to make my comparator consist with equals, which means you have to compare everything. If two names are same, what I have to do? So that is makes easier in the for more functional style of coding. Okay, let me add this items into my collection. So both names are same, then what I can do the sorting. If names are same, then you need to compare by price. If price are same, if you have some other attribute, you can use it. So that is more easy to integrate here. So I think I did everything by there. Okay. Short items by reversed order of price. Okay, I did everything. Okay. So let's go with the sorting. Short items by name. If the names are same, sort by price. So what I can do it is list dot stream dot sorted comparator dot comparing comparator dot comparing. First, the primary sorting is item colon get name dot not comparing. Call then compare. This is chaining. You can have so many then comparing. If names are same, it will go for then comparing. Otherwise, it will sort by name. Then comparing. So what I need to compare? Item colon get price. If the prices are same, what you can do? Then comparing. If you need some reversed, what do you need to do? If name wise reversed, put reversed here. Okay, then dot, then compare. Okay, otherwise, if I need price wise, so wherever which attribute wise you need reversed, apply dot reversed. Then compare whatever you want. Where you put reversed, the list will get reversed in that attribute. Okay, so according to your requirement, you can put that. Then I want to dot for each system data. So this will get rid of writing so many codes to do the imperative way. We have to write two comparators, then call that comparator, or we have to write several if conditions. Yes. No? Huh. Length of the name means you can customize. Comparator dot comparing, take a input, string colon length at the time, because every input, right? So before that, you should do mapping because it is a collection of item, right? So you have to map. If you want to do by lengthwise, take a input and map it into a length, then do short. If you want to print the price, then you can think about, but you can do, you have to think about how to do different mapping you can do. Okay, any other questions? Okay, let's run this code. So automatically it will sort by the price name when I get it into the console. See here. Okay, did I print? Yes. So here, if items have same name, it will sort by price wise. So that's way we can use. So over here, comparator.comparing is a static method, and all then comparing are non-static. So it will be chaining. But comparator.comparing is not chaining. I can't put comparing, okay, because it is a static method. But these are all non-static methods. So you can have several, then comparing, then comparing. Let's go to the slide and see the theory part. Okay. So we can do dot comparing by length. So even this line, you can have some function interface outside, then call this function, or you can replace with easily method reference, just string colon length. Otherwise, the comparing method need a implementation of function interface. You can write a function interface, then apply that method here. So simply I can replace with method references. Okay. For example, if you have employee collection, we write two comparators, right? Name wise one comparator and salary wise one comparator. So even the comparator itself have all the methods with the Java 8 features, not only in the stream pipeline, even inside comparator object also, you can specify like this, because this comparing method will return a comparator object, salary comparator. So now over here, this is my imperative style of code. Check the short type and compare. If the names are equal, then I have to compare by salary. So this will make your consist with the equals. So if the names are same, I have to compare by salary. So this is what we need to do. If I have a short method, we'll take a list of employee. This is the lesson 8 example of employee short method. If method is equal to by name, collection.short employees, comparator.comparing by name, and then comparing by salary. So this is not only you need to apply on stream collection, even in the short method directly from collection without stream also, the Java 8 except comparator.comparing inside the short method, because the second argument is a type of comparator. So that implementation you can do in functional style. Otherwise, I can sort by salary. If the salary is same, I'm going to compare by name. In the first criteria, compare by name. If names are same, comparing by salary. So this accept a function interface. Comparing is a static method from the comparator, so that cannot be changed. But then comparing is a default method which can accept many times chaining. Okay. So if you want to see that one, let's click here, comparator.comparing. If you look at the API, which is a static method. So when you look at then comparing, which is the default method. So you can have a lot of chaining. That's what we explained here. Any questions here? No. In this specific example, you need sorting. You need comparator. Okay. So over here, it is a string collection, right? When I do here, it is a collection of string without argument, you can specify. But if it is a type of item, definitely you have to specify the same rule. So here we put past the type, right? You cannot do simple sorted because item class has several attributes, right? You will get error. When you do this one, simply sorted, okay? Let's do simply sorted. Definitely it will throw runtime error because your object does not know about what type of sorting it required. In that case, you have to implement some comparable interface in your item class, then it will work. Okay, so dot sorted, what it says. Oh, I have the same name. Let me change the name. You cannot do without any argument. If it is the int collection, no error here. Okay, so when I want to longest first dot for each. Okay. First dot for each. You will get runtime error, I hope, system dot out colon println. The same way, when you have this collection, when you put it on collection dot start also, you will get error. So once again, what happened? Oh, I use the words. Okay, list dot. Oh. Huh? Oh, stream of item. Okay, so there will be no compilation error, but you will get a runtime error. Okay, so item need a comparable interface. So in that scenario, inside the item class, if you implement comparable, that's fine. But when you map something before sorting, if I do list dot, sorry, dot, dot map, take the input and you can map the input with get name or price. Then I have to collect this, do you have get price, get name? Okay. Stream of string. Yeah. Then you will be all right. Okay. But if it is a type of item, you cannot do sorting. The same way, I cannot pass collection dot sort of just list. Either a comparable, if you implement, then it's fine. Any other questions here? Okay, that's all about sorting. So would you like to try this exercise? Okay, exercise 9.3, I have to enable. Okay, let me go over here. Resources in class exercise. Operators. Class exercises. Okay, chapter 9, 8, everything I'll make visible. Okay, so chapter lesson 9, go to problem. Okay, don't go for solution. Okay, click on the problem, download problem 9.3 and copy and paste it on IDE. 10 minutes time to complete this exercise. So the requirement is list of accounts as given to you, sort by balance and then sort by owner name. Okay. If the balance are same, sort by owner name. In class exercise just now I show you, right? Go to your Sahay account, click on resources in class exercise, lesson 9. When you download this file, you will get all the exercises. Okay, you can import in your project or copy and paste the packages. In your exam also, the code will be given to you. You have to perform the required sorting using the functional style pipeline code.
microphone.
Ilma, are you there?
Yes, Professor, I can hear you.
Okay. Okay, have you completed? Okay, exercise 9.3. Online, guys. Did anybody try this one? This is what we don't like online. No response. Are they active or not active? Who knows that? Okay. Account class. So this is what your given code. Am I sharing my screen? Yes, screen is shared. Okay. Go to your main class. So all sample data has been given to you. So in your exam also I'll give you everything. You need to do only this part. Okay, for this also I'll give you all the API libraries. So don't worry. Already I made that visible to you. This is what I'm going to give it to on your exam. Maybe many people mind is running. How I'm going to write this one? Do I need to remember? Right? Okay, let's go to your resources. Right, I already uploaded the API. You don't need to download and print it, okay? I will give that printout to you during the exam. Okay, go to your exam review. Maybe if you want how the API looks, you can look at this API appendix. So this is what I'm going to give you during the exam, okay? So it has all the interface with the method signature, necessary interfaces, and all your stream method with the explanation, okay? But no theory question from this explanation, okay? So all API, what is the find method? What is the return type of this method? Everything I will give you. Shorted, what the shorted accept, everything will be given to you, okay? So maybe you guys can use it when you go for interview, okay? So I took short of research and prepared this manual easily. Many students ask me, can you give that? Okay, that's what I uploaded. Okay, so it has everything, all the methods, and that's a return type. So you don't need to memorize anything, but you should know how to do. Okay, that's what. Okay. Okay. Do you have any question on this one? If you do method reference, that's absolutely fine. If you do account double colon get balance, then comparing account double colon get owner name, that is enough. Okay. Any questions here? Okay, we are done with the sorting type. So here is the solution. Oh, solution is there already. Okay. Okay, let's move on. Some more terminal operations. We are focusing now. Already all are familiar with this one, right? Do you want me to, any example for this? No, right? Okay. Now we are going to focus some other terminal operation. If I want to have an integer collection or a double collection of employee salary, how can I find who is getting the maximum and minimum? So for everything, we have a API method is available. Okay, so over here, the return type is new. We are now entering into the new return type, which is optional, which help you to deal with null pointer exception. Because usually, if I get a value, if that value is null, I need to do the null check, right? So to overcome that, Java came up with the optional library, which has several methods to deal the null. Okay, let's go with the max, min, find first, and find any examples. let's go same example. Let me take the item example. Close everything. Yes, go ahead. Which one? Here. You have several primitive streams, also mapping methods. You can apply that. Okay, to retrieve that one. We will talk about primitive streams, few slides about that one. I will talk about at that time. Okay, let's go on this point. Okay, I want to get the max or min value. So let's go with the simple example in the slide, words.stream. Compared to ignore case, I want to find the largest values. Okay, let's go with this one. We have already words collection. Okay, what are the slide numbers? These are, let me mention the slide numbers. This is for, okay, so let me put the example for this one as slide number 40. Okay, so these are comes from slide number 40. More functional style of coding. Everything is comes from slide 40. I'll put. Okay, let's move on to the next slides. Slide number 47. Slide 47. We are going to learn min, max, point first. Point first. Find any. Okay, let's focus this part. So this method will return optional type. Okay, this return an optional type to deal with null check. To deal with null check. Let's take the words collection, which is the longest name. So we are going to do this one. Words.stream. I want to ignore a case, capital letter or small letter. Okay, word.stream. So when you find the max, so even the max also accept a comparator. So which wise you need to compare, name wise or price wise, you can put it inside the max. If it is a simple int collection, then I don't need to pass any comparator. But if it is your item collection or employee collection, if you want to find max, either name wise or price wise, so the max will accept a comparator the same way min will accept a comparator. Okay, so now I want to apply an ignore case, but if you don't want this one, then even you can ignore it. It is a single unique collections of streams. Okay, look at the return type of max method. What is the return type? Optional string. So when you work on these methods, which return a type of optional string, so we can test it whether this has a collection or not. Optional string result is equal to this one. Okay. So now we are going to learn about several methods are available from the optional. There are several options available to check the optional result. Okay, to avoid null pointer exception. Available to check optional result without null exception. Okay, so without null exception. Let's go one by one. Okay, let's check with the if present method. Okay, so the first one is we'll go with if present. This is like a traditional approach, how we do with if condition. I'm going to print it. Okay, so the result is stored in this one, right? So I can do sys out res dot if present. Okay, so if the value is present, I would like to print, but it accepts some value. Okay. Let's take one second. If the value is present, I'm going to print the value. It accepts a consumer interface. What do you mean by consumer? The purpose of consumer. No, you take a input, now return values, right? consumer. Absent. Okay, let's do with the if condition. Okay, if present. Okay, let me check the scenario, how to use it. Okay, if present. Give me a moment. Let me check out the scenario with the get method. I need to know the signatures of everything. Okay, so let's go with is present or if present. Is present. Okay, there are so many methods. Let me pull over here. I don't want to make delay. Let's everything we have here. I'll follow that one. In class notes, lesson 9. 3 will work with optional. Okay, so I put orals. Where it is. Maximum dot get find first. Is present. Okay. So is present I'm going to do. So this one we will do like a regular null check, not if present. If present is also there. Let's do the is present first. So this is similar like a if statement. So if my object name is res dot, right? If the value present res dot is present, I'm going to give a message, but this is like our imperative style of code. I'm going to print the value. To retrieve a value, I can use res dot get. So it will print the value. Okay. Else, I'm going to say no max. Okay. Just we are giving a message, no max. Okay, this is one approach. User is present and get together to check this one. So if there is a name, largest name, it printed Tom. Okay. So next type is, let's go with if present. Okay. So let's go with the next approach. If present. If present accept a consumer interface. So the consumer means take input, no return value, right? How we do for each. Okay. So the same thing we are going to deal it. Already res is used. Let me check. Okay. So system.out. Okay. Let's put your collection dot if present, take the input. If the input is available, I'm going to print the value. Okay. So how can I get the value? X dot get, right? So I can put X. Let's see. Okay. But if there is no value, it won't print. Let's go with a different example. Let's take some other example. Okay. Okay, let's do with the same example. Okay. Okay. So it print the term again. Let me show you something. If it is not available, nothing will be printed. String compared to ignore case. We have to change the criteria here. Then finding the max. Okay, let me change some scenario here. Filter dot filter. I want to get a data without that to show you. Take the input x dot, maybe some exception. Okay, length x dot length greater than 8. We don't have inputs with greater than 8, right? Then let's see what it will print. Are we getting any error or see here? Did you notice? If there is no data, in this scenario, it will check the data is available. Otherwise, no max. But when you work with if present, if the data is available, it will print. If there is no data, nothing will be on the console. Okay. If data will print. If data available will print. Otherwise, nothing printed on the console. So how can I deal this? So let's go for the third option. Nothing printed on the console. Okay, so that's the drawback of if present. So the third approaches will go with or else. Okay, or else. The third approaches or else. Okay, let's go with this or else. The same thing, or else we can work with printing directly on the console. Checking this. Okay, system directly. You can print it on the console. Take your input. Dot. If input is available, it will print the result. Else, so or else, you can say the same data, whatever input, the or else type is also same. No max. Okay. So in this scenario, this is so simple. I no need to write if or else condition. If input is available, it will print the input. If there is no input, it will print no max. Okay. If available, print data. Print the max. Otherwise, print no max. So this is the way you can work with. Okay, let's run this one. So this also print no max. So let me remove this filter condition. So all 3 times it will print Tom. Okay, so 3 times it will print Tom. So this is about or else. Okay, so let's go to the theory part here. Let's talk about. So the same way you can use minimum, find first and find any, which means if I have 2 names are Tom, right? So it will find first one. So when you work on a parallel stream, use find any. When you work on a single stream, use find first, because the parallel stream means it's very difficult to find first. We have several substreams working on parallelly. In that scenario, I can find anyone. But when you use a find first method, if you're working on a single stream, if you have many inputs, just print the first one if I have same. So that's what called find first. Okay, let's do with the items class with the find first. Okay, let's do with the find first method. We have list, right? List dot stream and dot filter. Take the input dot first name input dot starts with input dot starts with. Why I need to string? Oh, I have to map, right? Because sorry, no to string record. I want to print a name which starts with, what are the inputs we have? Okay, name starts with A. Okay, I want to print a name. I have 2 A's, right? So name starts with A. So before that, what I would like to do it is map of, take the input, map into price, right? So map into get name. And dot filter x dot start with of. So I'm going to pass A. So I have 2 inputs, right? I can do dot find first. Okay, so which will return? Let's see the return type. Optional string. So optional string name is equal to this one. Okay, so I'm going to print out name start with A is equal to, I use a or else, that is the easiest approach. My result is name dot or else no item. Okay, let's run this code. Okay, so there are 2 items. It will print Alexa one. There are 2 names are available, right? Yes.
Can be
Regular.
exception in the start.
What do you mean by regular exception?
Expression line and 102 can be regular expression for starting. Input
Regular expression. I don't get it.
expression. Regular expression.
What do you mean by
The
Choose
filter,
to
the filter.
validate like the
filter? Can you say the line?
line 102.
What do you want to do here?
Let's start with.
Hmm.
Instead of putting the A letter,
Hmm.
we use with regular expression.
Expression.
Regular expression.
Can you tell that regular expression input?
Just
The three gesture.
the
Yes.
they think that the regular expression another maybe in Java there is another class like this.
Okay.
Pattern match.
Yes, pattern matching. Yes, yes, I know that. You can apply, but it should be a functional predicate. You can apply the condition. That match with predicate. That's it. That expression may be whatever it is. But final result, this expression need to return Boolean. Whatever expression you want, you can go with that. Okay. So any other questions here? So this way you can use this one or else. Okay, now the question is, we have find first and find any, both will do the same job. But the find any, when you work on parallel stream, it is very difficult to find first. Because parallelly several streams are working, you can work find any, okay? So find first suitable for a single stream, okay? And find any suitable to parallel stream, okay? But both will do the same job, okay? So let's take a break for 10 minutes. 11:05, we will continue the session.